Hey guys, so this summer I had the opportunity to do 23andMe. I got it for my birthday. My dad is adopted, so I really don't know what my true genetic heritage is because I don't really have a true family tree. So I decided to do this year, which is really cool. I'm glad I did it. I learned so much. So I wanted to take this fun little experiment and, let's use it in the classroom. Let's have some fun. Um, Essentially what you do is you get the kit and you spit into this little thing, you send it to a lab. They go through this whole process of breaking down your genetic code and linking it to other genetic codes and links. So one of the things I'm gonna have you guys do is go through some like trait things that they asked me to do. There's like a bunch of quizzes and research that you can be a part of, surveys and studies. So I took some of those questions, and on the next slide, I'm gonna have you do some of the really random questions that they asked me that were kind of fun. So like, for example, based on my traits, it can tell me all this information. Cilantro aversion. If you're somebody who if you're somebody who has cilantro and it tastes like soap, that's an aversion. You don't like it. It's a genetic thing. It has nothing to do with your taste buds. Photic sneezing reflex. I don't even know this is a thing. Apparently people just sneeze when they walk outside. I don't even know. And then one of my personal favorites, let's see if I can find it. So here's some of my traits. Dimples, I definitely don't have dimples. That's true. I don't, not really. 84% you do not have a cleft chin. I don't. I rarely do have dandruff. That's true. Not that you need to know my earlobe. My eye color is pretty accurate. Photo bleaching, so this means like I don't have to put sun in my hair. If I just go out in the sun, my hair is going to just turn blonde. It's going to get a lot blonder. This one, newborn hair. This part freaks me out. Your genetic predicts 74% chance you had little to no hair at birth. That is very accurate. I had very little hair. I didn't get hair until I was 1, but my daughter has a ton of hair. Like she was born with like a full head of hair. Her hair is almost to the middle of her back and she's 16 months old. Like her hair grows like a weed. But I had no hair when I was born. So just really, really cool stuff. Like, oh yeah, stretch marks. Widow's peak. Guess what? I don't really need to wax my eyebrows. I don't have a unibrow. So just like really cool stuff that they took without ever seeing a picture of me. They could determine whether or not I had stretch marks, skin pigmentation. A lot of this stuff is accurate. Some of it's not as accurate, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool they could do that. So here's my Ancestry report. Spoiler alert, I'm super white. I am like 99.7% European. So, woo, nothing really special about me. I'm British, Irish, French, and German. So the British and the French part was huge for me to see because my adoptive grandparents are British and French Canadian. So it was great to have some of that similar heritage to my adoptive grandparents, who I always saw as they were as much my grandparents as a biological grandparent would be. So it just was interesting that I actually still had a connection to their heritage. And then Scandinavian, I'm pumped about that. That explains my blonde hair, especially the German and the Scandinavian. That explains why I have my blonde streak. So if you've never seen me before, you haven't seen a picture of me yet, I've never ever in my life dyed my hair except for like a little bit of pink and blue when I was in college, like washout stuff. That's it. So if I take my hair and I put it in a part, I'm literally half blonde, half brunette. I have a massive blonde streak that I part my hair so it covers more of my head because it's freaky. If you walked in and you saw somebody with two-toned hair and it was right down the middle, it's weird. So I've never dyed my hair. I have a very unique hair whatever traits, and that explains, now that I see my genetics, I can see why. I mean, I've got some Scandinavian, I've got German in there. That's where blonde hair comes from. So it's pretty cool. It also connected me with some relatives, which is interesting because my dad was adopted. So all these people that I was, connected to as a first or second cousin was pretty cool. But you can only connect to people who have done the genetic testing. So it's not going to connect you to, heritage, ancestry.com or anything like that. They're not together. So this was something that I thought was super cool. Neanderthal. This is, if anybody has Mr. Thompson, feel free to ask him how he makes fun of me. I'll just tell you. He makes fun of me and he says, "Oh, no wonder you're a Neanderthal. Look at the way you walk." Like when I'm tired or I'm on a mission, I like I like haven't, my back is arched. I literally look like this dude when I walk. I do not have a graceful walk. I walk with a purpose and like I've got a mission. That's okay. I accept that about me. All right. So what's cool is I have 92% more DNA than I don't know, whatever. So what was really cool is they showed me how much of it I had based on the variants, so the possibilities of being related to a Neanderthal, which is really cool. So I don't have a ton of Neanderthal DNA, but that means I have a very long lineage. Like Neanderthals were on the earth 150,000 years ago. Bro. Yeah. So, but they disappeared 40,000 years ago. So it's pretty cool. I have a very old lineage. So one of the cool things that it said, this is how it might impact my DNA, having difficulty disregarding rarely used possessions. Yeah, I have a hard time letting stuff go, for sure. I'm not, it's hard for me to throw crap away. You'll notice when you go to my classroom, I really try to keep it organized, but I have a hard time. Being less likely to fear heights, that's true. I'm not really afraid of heights unless I was jumping out of a plane. I'm cool. Being a sprinter than a distance runner, I don't run, period. I don't run. I'm not a runner, but I swim. And when I swam, I was a sprinter, not a distance swimmer. Less likely to prefer salty over sweet. That's kind of true for me. Yeah, I prefer salty. I'd rather, if I had a choice between French fries or Frosty, I'm gonna do the French fries first and then realize the genius thing to do is to dip my fries in my Frosty. If you have not done that, it's delicious. But, you know, different thing. So it has all these cool traits that it tells you based on this funky little DNA. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is you're gonna answer a couple questions that I stole from this to just learn about your genetics and just have some fun with this little scientific thing. What I like it is I'm also gonna use maybe some of the research studies, answers. Yeah, so look at all these surveys you can do, how much you weigh at birth, like all this stuff. It's really cool, and I've had a lot of fun with it on a science perspective. So like maybe if your parents do it, it'd be really cool. Like if both of your parents do it, you don't really need to do it. You can probably figure out what you are from that. But still really, really cool. All right, guys, let's pop back into your pod.